All right. Hey guys, this is Phil Aguilar coming to you from my home office here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And today I got something special for you. And today is going to be obviously a little different than some of the webinars I've done recently, which were only half an hour or maybe 25 minutes. But this one I moved it to an hour just because I had some scheduling conflicts on Tuesday, so I didn't have any training this week on Tuesday night, and so today I made it an hour. And the subject that a lot of people have that I've interacted with, a lot of people have talked about this and how do you do this and why would you want to do that and why don't you want to use the company as your brand, and why do you have to, why should you promote yourself and things like that. And I've got that question, quite a few times over the almost 2 years that I've been involved in internet marketing, and I even asked that question myself. So tonight I put together a PowerPoint presentation. And what I usually do on my Tuesday nights or the Thursday nights that I only do the half an hour usually, what I usually do is kind of introduce myself a little bit. And I've done PowerPoints before, but I usually talk a little bit about, because I'm getting a lot of new people that have never been to my Hangouts before. So, well, that's great. And I appreciate people stopping by and joining in. And hopefully people are getting some good value, and I am gathering some momentum with my webinars here. There's no doubt about that. But tonight I want to talk a little bit more about not only myself and what I do, but how I do this. How I brand myself, even though my name's not Ray Higdon. Or if you're not familiar with Ray Higdon, maybe you haven't been in the industry that long. Or or Diane Hockman, or Brian Finale, or some of these not necessarily long-term people in the industry, but people that have gotten extremely successful in a considerably short amount of time, based on internet marketing rather than network marketing as a whole, which has been around for a long time. So internet marketing, network marketing online is very, very different than what you would think network marketing is as a whole. Now, people that have gotten involved in network marketing, most people have gotten involved offline. So they've locally, maybe a friend of the family, or a friend of theirs, or whatever, or even a family member has approached them, and with this new business opportunity that you can make money at. And it's like, oh, it's interesting. So people join these opportunities and they don't necessarily know what they're getting involved in. And not to say that doesn't work, because network marketing offline has been very successful and very lucrative for a lot of people. But now you're getting a lot more crossover. You're getting a lot more people that have done the offline stuff and have crossed over to internet marketing or online marketing. You can call it either, but internet marketing might be a little general term. It covers everything from the technical aspects to it, to maybe affiliate marketing, to a lot of different things that kind of encompass the whole industry as a whole. But basically, network marketing online is very different and can be potentially very lucrative for newer people if they want to dive into this, if they want to learn from people that are having success online, that are learning new skills. It's definitely more technical online, but the advantages to that are you can speak to a lot more people even when you're sleeping. Network marketing offline, you do a lot of parties and you do a lot of events and things like that, and that's where you network. You get people to events and you gain momentum that way. Well, you're not going to events at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's the advantage of internet marketing or network marketing online, is you're presence online, your brand online, can work for you while you're not working. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been taught, and that's what I'm teaching myself is learning new skills, but utilizing the internet as a home base. Like tonight, I can have the last count I had, there was I think it was like 19 or 20 people earlier today. I didn't look at it a little bit ago. That was had signed up for the webinar before I started. Sometimes you get a few stragglers that come in and sign up after I start. But the advantage is I don't have to leave my house. I can sit here in shorts and a t-shirt, and I finished dinner half an hour ago. Things like that. I can, from my home office, I can talk to a lot of people in a short period of time and teach them some skills that maybe they didn't know about, or things that they haven't been shown from their leaders and their business opportunity, whatever that is. So basically that's it. I'm going to jump into this PowerPoint here, and what I want you to do is just take notes, just kind of follow along and try to learn something. If you can learn one thing out of this tonight and take it with you, that'd be great. Sometimes, a lot of people in some of these webinars that I've been on, they throw out so much information, and it's just boatloads and boatloads of information. And I've got notebooks full of, I've got notebooks right here just full of stuff, and I'm still going through it. And I write blog posts on some of the information and things like that. It's all good stuff, but it's almost overwhelming sometimes. So I understand that. Okay, so that's why I did a PowerPoint, so I can show slides and kind of get you to focus on, learning an aspect out of this, something out of this that you can utilize in your business. So I'm going to get into it here. I'm going to do a screen share. Just give me a second here. Coming up. All right. So obviously that's me, and that's my currently, which is going to be changing. That's my brand picture. You can see that picture, and that looks like me, maybe a little younger, because it was about, that picture is probably about 7, 8 months old. Got a nice haircut there, so a little more professional than me sitting here in my shorts and a t-shirt. So if you don't know me, obviously Phil Aguilar online. That's my URL for my blog. That's kind of my moniker, is Phil Aguilar online. That's my email address. That's online at gmail.com. That's me as a whole. Now I'll get into this as we go along here, but you'll be seeing a lot of that picture in the slides and things like that. Just kind of give you an idea of what you need to do to brand yourself rather than your opportunity. And like I said before, when you brand your opportunity, I'm not saying it's not going to be successful, because there's a lot of people out there that have been successful doing that. But I've also seen people, and I was on a webinar last night. Diane Hockman said she was in a business opportunity years ago in early 2000s, and it was before anyone really utilized the internet for network marketing. And she woke up and she was having a lot of success. Her and her husband were doing really well, and her husband woke her up one morning and said, the president of our company died. He was like 40, I think he was like 44, and she was like, oh no. And they were scrambling. I mean, the whole business opportunity was scrambling. A lot of people were leaving, and it was a disaster. And the company's still around. They're very successful still. But she was panicking because what they really did was brand the company. And they put all their hopes and dreams in that one company. Now, not to say that the company that you're with specifically is going to struggle or going to fall apart. But you know what? When you put all your hopes and dreams into something that's completely out of your control, you might be heading down the wrong road. And that's one of the big reasons you really should work on setting yourself apart as a brand. You as a specific leader, and not necessarily that, like I said, your company might be great, it might be stable, it might be the best opportunity around, which is great, and I hope that's how you look at it. But on the other hand, how do you look? How does it look? Or how will it look, I should say, if everything falls apart? Can you just take up and move to another company? Maybe not. So that's the point. That's the point behind this this training right here is 3 steps to branding yourself as a leader in network marketing or MLM industry. So I'm gonna go right in here. So this is kind of me. As you can see, I'm up in the right corner there. You're gonna see a lot of my picture up in there, and because I try to brand my slides, and that's kind of something that I'll talk about later. But recently married, just got married in April of this year. If most of you, well, some of you might not know that. I know there's some people here probably that, and just so you know, if you've never been on one of these webinars, I can't see my screen. I mean, I can see what I'm showing, but that's all I can see. I don't see any chat or anything like that. I have no controls in front of me. So I guess, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you right now, and I should have put this earlier in the chat, but I didn't. If anyone has any difficulties with seeing anything or something, you can send me a text, actually. So it's, and if you got a pen and a piece of paper, write this down: 612-296-5357, because I can't actually see the screen. A lot of times when people do webinars, they actually have another person kind of monitoring that. Well, I don't. So it's 612-296-5357. So you can text me if you can't see something, or if there's a technical difficult problem, something going on that I don't know about. So anyways, got married April of this year. I have 3 kids, and they are right there, is the ages of my kids. And my wife has 2 kids. And we got married in April. My wife's daughter got married about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we've had a crazy, we've actually had a really crazy first, 8 months of the year here. We got engaged in December, Christmas, started the wedding planning, got married in April, went to Las Vegas for a honeymoon. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff's been going on. You know, my granddaughter was born last fall, my oldest son's. So we've just had a crazy 2014. It's been great though, all good stuff. As you can see, I coached youth hockey for 20 years, and if you follow me on Facebook, you've probably seen some of that. Worked in the printing industry from 1985. That was like right 1 year out of college. Actually, I had 1 year of college, I should say, and graduated in high school in '83. So worked in the printing industry from '85 to 2014, almost 29 years. So crazy stuff, but it did a lot for me. You know, I raised my kids and built a house, and you know, I had a good stable job, and the industry has kind of changed, so it's not as stable anymore. But started working overnights, which is the night shift. 3 months after my daughter Mackenzie was born, and now she's going into her sophomore year of college here. So she's 19, going on 20 here, and so I work nights. I mean overnights, 10 p.m. to like 6:30 a.m. for like about almost 19 years. So a long time. I used to get that question all the time. People would say, "Oh, you still work nights? How do you do that?" But I don't know. I did it, you know, and I'm sure you know, you do what you have to do. And I never had opportunities to go to day shift because I worked with some big companies, and people would stay on their day jobs and seniority and all that stuff. So I really wasn't in control of a lot of stuff. I had a couple of chances, but it didn't work out. So, and like I said, as you can see, I worked nights right up to April of this year. So since April, my whole life's been like upside down and backwards. So it's been absolutely crazy. All good stuff though, all good stuff. I can not complain about anything. So these are some of my family pictures, recent ones here, fairly recent. Yeah, this is all pretty new stuff here. The one up on the my left, so I think that would be your left. It's my wife, me and my wife. This is at, and that's my granddaughter there, Aurora. This is at my wife's daughter's wedding. This was just a few weeks ago, so that was an awesome night. Really, it was an outdoor wedding. It was at an old golf chalet. Really, really nice setting. It was a great night, and had all my family there. It was awesome. It was really cool. And then the middle one there, that's my daughter actually, and me on the way to the wedding. And that night, my wife was already at the wedding. She was helping with the wedding. She was, obviously we were very involved in the wedding. It was her daughter that was getting married. So and as you can see on the bottom of that picture of my daughter and I, and that's from our car, from my car, is there's my tagline right there, my URL right on the bottom. That's actually an Instagram picture. You can see it says philaguilaronline.com, and you'll see that around, and I'm sure you have. But and then the one on the right, that's my son. That's my 29-year-old son and his daughter, my granddaughter Aurora. And that's just one of my favorite pictures right there. My son and I look very, very much alike. We've heard that. We've heard the brothers thing for a long time because I don't look as old as I am. I'm almost 50, so. And then down the bottom left, that's my daughter and me at the Twins game last weekend, sitting there right off the field, some really good seats. We went to the ball game that night. It was a great night, watched some fireworks and things like that. And there's my granddaughter in the middle. One of her, that's a professional photographer. They just did a 9-month, she's 9 months old, so they did a sitting for her, did a lot of outdoor photos, and that's one of my favorites. And then that's me and my son, my youngest son. He's 15, going on 16, get his license pretty quick here. That's at our church, or outside of our church, going on a mission trip. That was the day he left to Texas with the high school ministries from our church. And he was pretty excited for the 30-hour bus trip. I don't know who would be excited for that, but he was excited for the whole thing. He loved it, came back, it was awesome. He had a great time. So. Those are some pictures. Here's some more pictures. This is one that I had on Instagram on the upper left there. Had a friend of mine ask me, actually from church, asked me, hey, you want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? And I thought, wow, why would I? Oh yeah, I get it. He was joking, but we ended up just yesterday. We registered to go skydiving, and jumping September 20th, me and 3 other guys and a couple other people that I'm not sure of yet, but yep, all signed up, paid for, registered. I'm doing it. So it's going to be awesome. I've never done it before, and I don't know if you've ever done something like that, but it's crazy. And but yeah, that's me though. I'm kind of like that. I like doing things like that. I like some fun stuff, out of the ordinary stuff, and I guarantee you, coming up to that, I'm really, really going to talk about that. It's going to be awesome. And I'll probably market myself a little bit as I jump. So I'm going to get some video of that. So I'll be sharing that. And that's my wife and I, the day we got married. That's in April of this year at our church. We got married at our church. And then next to that on the right, that's my mom and dad. They're in their 80s, live locally here. I live close to them, haven't lived more than about 10 minutes from them my whole life. I'm the youngest of 3, and I can't seem to want to leave Minnesota. So it's probably because of the hockey thing. I've been a hockey coach forever, and I'm kind of retired from it now, but there's a lot of hockey that goes on here. My own dad loved hockey, so my daughter played a lot of hockey. Both my kids play a lot of hockey. I played a lot of hockey. I coached hockey, and yeah, it's just kind of hockey crazy here. So if you've ever been to Minnesota, it's the state of hockey. So. And then the bottom 2 pictures there, that's our wedding. The one on the left would be my left. I think that would be your left. Yeah, I think it should be. That's my family and my wife. My son on the left, my youngest son next to me, and then my daughter. And then that's my son's wife, and that's my granddaughter Aurora in the red dress there. So that was an awesome day. That's outside in April. It was a little cool, but it wasn't too bad. It was really nice out. And then the other picture there is all of us. That's on the left of my wife there. That's her kids. And actually, she's got a boy and a girl, the ones in the middle there. And then her son John, that's his fiance next to him. And then the two on the end, they just got married. Kristen and Caleb just got married a couple weeks ago. So that's kind of our whole family now. That's kind of, we get visitors all the time, and everybody lives pretty close, but we hang out with our kids a lot. And with our youngest being 15, we do get some alone time, so which is kind of nice. You know, at this age, when you get married, you know, almost 50, kids aren't around that much. So. And then here's how I got to what I'm doing now. And it doesn't look, you know, I mean, with me being in the printing industry for as long as I was, you know, running machinery and, you know, blue collar and working nights and all that stuff, how does that translate to what I do now? Well, for most people, it probably doesn't at all. There's no correlation at all, but here I am. So. Back about early 2000s, I was kind of had the entrepreneur bug, got involved with a hockey training center, our franchise. Learned a lot, loved hockey, always have. Got to work with a lot of kids, training them and stuff like that. I ran the place, and I had a couple of partners, and they just kind of just didn't really take it seriously, and we ended up closing the place in a couple of years. I did lose some money, but I learned a lot, and I did learn that I didn't know anything, and that was kind of where the bug was. It was I wanted to do this. I wanted to be my own, you know, I wanted to run my own business is what I wanted to do, but I had to learn a lot before that, so I struggled with that, the closing of that place. That really was not good, but it kind of got me on the road going where I was. And divorced in 2008, not good. Obviously, I got the little unhappy face there. I'm normal. You know, we all go through tough things. If you look at those top two things there, that's tough stuff. You know, I've worked my butt off with that hockey training center and worked a regular job on top of that. So I worked about 90 hours a week, and it didn't work. That really stunk. So, like I said, I got divorced 2008. 2010, I went back to college. And that is probably the biggest turning point in everything that I've done up to this point, was because I learned that I was better than I thought I was. And I had to challenge myself to actually figure that out. And I knew I wanted to do something different than what I was doing, but I had to step out of my little box and experience something that I wasn't sure if I could do or not, but I was good at. I went back to school, and I was very successful. Got a degree, was on the dean's list for the whole time I was in school. I think the first quarter, I think I was like a B plus, and after that, I just got A's and everything, and I really, really worked to get A's. I mean, I put the time in. I did a lot of work. And if in your mid-40s, going back to college is not easy, because I still was coaching hockey. I still was raising kids. I still was working all those hours. Nothing changed. I just added college to it. So it was crazy. It was. I did a lot of studying, and I found out that I could write. So that's when I started blogging. Started writing a lot in college, writing papers, and I loved it. It was great. I just kind of zipped through stuff, handed it in, and the instructors would go, "Wow, that's really good. Even writing or something?" And I never had to write. I never had to write about, we read, you do a lot of writing papers in college and stuff, and on all different research subjects and this and that, and short stories, and I even had poetry and everything, you name it. We had to write about it, and that's kind of where I got the bug, the blogging bug. So I started writing in 2012, or blogging, I should say. Started a personal blog, got some good interaction with that. Started dabbled in affiliate marketing, which is promoting other people's products. I didn't have to come up with anything. I just promoted other people's products, and I made some money. So I started to really look into it. And as I went to school, I took some internet marketing classes, some really updated classes, and I added that to my marketing degree, and learned a lot. Talked to some counselors there, and started really researching what I can do with this. And it turns out that you can make money at this. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. So that's what I did. Kind of started into it, really got involved in it, got my degree in 2013. Was working for a huge retailer corporation in printing, in their printing division here in Minnesota. And you can imagine what that is. They're headquartered in Minnesota. They're probably one of the biggest retailers in the country besides the W, not Walmart. So it's not Walmart, so it's the other one. I'm not going to say it here, so you can figure that one out. But anyways, and I realized I don't like working corporate. There's too many rules. They want you to just be, it's cookie cutter, and you're just a number, and it's just, I didn't like that. I didn't want to sit behind a desk for the next 20 years. So I said, I started really working on what I was trying to do. So at that time, I had met my fiance, and we had been dating for, I don't know, about a little over a year when we got engaged at the end of 2013. And around then is when I seriously considered, started talking about it, about me going full time when we were planning our wedding. So that was just, in January of this year. So, and here's there's three reasons you should brand yourself as a leader in network marketing, or three strategies, steps, whatever you want to call them, to get to brand yourself as somebody worth following in this industry. And I've learned a lot, and it's not by eating White Castles or hanging upside down in a pit or jumping. That's like a trampoline pit there. But anyways, why so much personal info? Well, one thing my wife has always said is that I'm very transparent, and which means I'm very wide open. Our first date that we had, we sat at Caribou, and then we went back to her house, and we talked till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I told her everything. So I told her, all my stuff that I didn't want. You don't want to tell people, and just the stuff that and just we got to know each other and stuff because she was comfortable with me because I talked about everything. I told her everything. I wanted her to know all this stuff about me, and then she could make a decision whether she wanted to go out with me again, which was kind of scary. But I'm like, well, we're very similar. So she listened, and I talked, and I think I talked her ear off. But anyways, that White Castle picture there, I'm sure you're familiar with White Castle, but that was my birthday. I think it was we went to, she said, where do you want to go eat? We were going to go to somewhere nice. And I said, no, let's just go to White Castle, because we haven't never been there together. And there's one right by our house. So that's where we went. And I put that picture, I put that on Facebook. Oh my gosh, I had like a zillion likes and comments, and I still had people talking about it up to last week, I think it was. It's crazy. So it's just one of those pictures that that's Phil, and that's the way he does things, and he's funny and goofy, and then the other one there, I'm actually flying into a pit, and it's like one of those jumping pits. And I was at a place called Zero Gravity. It's one of those trampoline places, and I'm sure you have one in your area. But anyways, it was an overnight party for our middle school youth group, and I'm one of the leaders. So somebody got a picture of me jumping into the pit. I was doing a somersault there, or I don't know what that is. I wouldn't have given it a 10. I just landed, and it's a really nice soft landing. It's just hard to get out of those things, but it was really cool. But why so much personal info? Well, I'll tell you why. And this is what branding is because being transparent, or being out there, especially with the way social media is nowadays, is huge. If you have a lot to hide, no one's ever going to get to know you. So when you think about it, the more transparent you are, and I'm not saying you have to put every little thing out there. It's just like, and I have to kind of reel myself in sometimes because I want to put stuff out there. Now that I'm married, I have to, when I'm going to put something, especially on Facebook, and I'm going to put something out there, I ask my wife if I can tag her in it or if I can include it. It's like this hashtag married life thing that I put up sometimes. I always ask her, can I put this out there? And she'll say, no, don't put that. Okay, I won't. I'll reel it in. So I got to ask, and some things I don't, some things I do, some things that aren't really that big a deal I'll put up there, and I'm sure people kind of roll their eyes sometimes, like, why did he put that? but that's me. You know, that's who I am, and it's not. I don't put up vulgar things, or I'm just not like that. So I put up things that are useful, or that might make people think, or that might look a little bit into my life. It might, wow, that's cool, or something like that. You know, like the jumping out of the plane thing that I'm doing September 20th. I mean, I threw that up there right away because they're like, oh, that's gonna be awesome. It's exciting stuff, I think. So now you know a little bit more about me. That's why that's part of branding is to be transparent. With social media the way it is nowadays, um, people can find you anywhere. You know, if they see what they like, they'll find you. Okay, they see you. You know, it's like yesterday we put up my wife and I, Sherry, we walked around our neighborhood, and we live in some townhomes. So we walked around our neighborhood, and we hadn't had a barbecue this summer. And I've only been here, so I was here about a year before we got married. A little more than a year, about 13 months before we got married. So when I bought the place. So, anyways, we walked around and handed out some flyers to invite everybody to a barbecue that we're going to have. We're going to host it. So I put my Facebook URL on there and my email and stuff like that. I put it on there because then people can search me out and find me and look me up, and then connect with me on Facebook, tell me if they're coming or not, give me my cell number and everything, because we don't know everybody in our area, but we just ran into some people here and there. But it's just good to do that, and I'm not worried about people looking me up on Facebook because I got nothing to hide. My whole Facebook persona is wide open, and I will. And I know there's a lot of creepers out there, especially for women. And I've dealt with some of the women that are creepers. They want to show you. Yeah, they put up. I don't know. It's garbage. I delete them. I'm sure women have a lot bigger problem with that, so they try to limit their information, which is completely understandable. I would do the same if I was a woman, but in my case, I don't even care. I want everybody to see it. My whole profile is public, and I'm not hiding it, because that way people can, if they get a friend request from me, or if they want to friend request me, they can check my profile and look at up and down and look at my videos and look at all my pictures and then send me a friend request. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. So that's kind of the branding. This is kind of the beginning of the branding, is being open to that. It's being real, being a real person, and then people can search you out. And then what it does is it builds trust. When people can see into your life and see what you're like and who you are and who you hang around with and what your hobbies are, and I'm not talking about business. I'm just talking about the real you. If they can see into that stuff, it makes them feel better about connecting with you, about connecting with somebody that, wow, I mean, I have a couple of friends in Australia, a guy in New Zealand. There's a girl that I've connected with. I've actually, this week, I've connected with like 3 different people, I think, in Australia. So, which is really interesting. In the UK, and it's just crazy stuff. It's really cool, though. I mean, I like it, and it's because I'm wide open to, my whole profile is wide open. I'm not going to be vulgar or anything like that, and I'm not going to offend anybody. And I might, because sometimes I talk about my faith and things like that, but it's not offending. I don't believe it is. But because one thing, that's who I am. That's the part of me that is a big part of my life, and I have no problem putting that out there. And if it does offend somebody, well, then they probably don't want to be friends with me, and I'm okay with that. So it builds trust and shows character and integrity. The part of looking into my life and seeing, am I the same in all places? I mean, do I tweet this and then show up on Facebook going to church, or do I say some crazy stuff or put some maybe vulgar pictures on Instagram, and then I, make a blog post about how people are rude and insensitive and things like that, and I don't, but that's kind of, everything should be, about character and integrity, and for me it is, and I think that's a huge part of branding. And I'm not hiding anything. This is just the way I am. And then lifestyle and values. Everybody can see what kind of lifestyle I live. A lot of family stuff, a lot of the married life stuff, my granddaughter, twins games, hockey games, sports, funny stuff, my faith, just some of the stuff I've told you in the last half an hour. Values, it says a lot about what I'm about, and that's part of branding because people trust that, people like your values, and like that you're willing to help somebody, even though you might not make any money when you're helping them, which happens. You got to build the relationship, and I think you all understand that. And then nothing is in question. Like I said, my whole profile, especially on Facebook, is wide open. You can search out anything on there and see it, and which is cool. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I've had high school friends that found me, and I'm sure there's people that look through all my stuff, and I'm like, well, that's completely fine. I have no problem with that at all. That means nothing is in doubt. There's no question as to where my integrity is, or if I'm trustworthy or things like that. That's kind of one of those things that everybody, I believe, should really put it out there. And then, let's see, wait a minute. There we are. Okay, and then this one, I'm a real person. It's a lot of people, and I had somebody unsubscribe from my email list the other day, and sometimes, and people do that, and I don't have a problem with it because I'm getting leads, and you're always going to lose people, and because people opt into lists every day. There's a lot of people out there that opt into everything they see. Then they get 100 emails and they just start deleting stuff, and that's fine. But anyways, I got this unsubscribe notice, and sometimes people will put in there why they unsubscribe. And the lady had, and I think it was a lady, if I remember right, yeah. She had subscribed, opted in like a couple days before, and then I think I had sent out, she probably had got a couple emails, and then she unsubscribed and she wrote, "This is a scam." I could have argued with her because it kind of was like, oh, that kind of stinks, because she thought it was a scam. And well, she probably didn't know anything. She didn't make an effort to search me out at all. She opted in. She probably didn't go to my Facebook page because I have all my links in my emails. Everything's there, so they can just click on them and see me. They can find out about as much as they want. All they got to do is make the effort to click on a link. And she didn't really look into it, and she's gone, and there's not much I can do about it. But that's one reason I put this stuff out there, is so people can search me out and research me and find out what I'm about. And that's part of the brand. That's part of being transparent. I'm a real person. So, and then it all shows too when you're doing webinars or meeting other people or answering questions on Facebook or connecting with people on Instagram or writing in my blog. It's different things. I did a leadership qualities series probably a couple months ago, at least a few months ago, on my blog about 10 different posts that I did on leadership qualities. And it's not that I'm the top of the heap. It's not that I know everything, but I have enough information and I've learned enough where I figured I could write a blog post about this. And I ended up writing 10 in that series. So, and that was good. I did some videos and did the blog post with it, and it was fun. It was fun. I did it over, I think it was a couple weeks, and it was very fun. And I got a lot of good feedback on that. In fact, some people started sharing those blog post videos on their blogs, using that as tools to share with some people that were looking for things like that. So, which was awesome. I got some good feedback, and that happened. So, and number two. So number one is let people in and let them find out about you. Let them find out what you're about. Let them see into your life. Let them, and at their pace, whatever that is. And if you start jamming things down people's throat, then they start getting fishy. They start saying things. And there's been a few times since I've been involved with the community that I'm involved in, it actually might lead to some pro. And there's been some times where I said the wrong thing, and I knew it. And I remember one time a couple of months ago, I was doing a Facebook chat with somebody, and I don't even remember who was friends with who first, but anyways, we messaged back and forth like twice, I think, and then I said something about her business opportunity, and she immediately said, kind of early in the conversation, to be talking business, don't you think? And then I thought, and I felt like I was about 2 inches tall, and she kind of cut me down, but it was like, oh yeah, she's right. I blew that one. I shouldn't even say that. A lot of times people lead me to that, but I kind of led her to that, and I thought, oh, so you know, granted, she probably didn't have a chance to really look at anything of mine yet because we had just been friends maybe 10 minutes, but I kind of blew it, and she made me feel small. But then we talked for a while, and she was fine. I apologized and felt stupid for it, and she was really cool about it. But I didn't let her dictate how she could look at what I was about and stuff like that. I kind of threw stuff at her, which was a mistake. So find out what you are best. Number two, okay, find out what you're best at. What are your attributes? And what do you think is something that you could not only be good at now, like you currently are, or what is something that could easily build into some form of leadership? Now, some people, if you look at these pictures here, top 5 network marketing tips, some people have come from offline. And if that's you, then maybe you've learned so much information about recruiting and about face-to-face meetings and things like that. Maybe you could promote to people like you, people that are coming from offline and coming online. So, because you have a lot to offer struggling network marketers if you've had some success offline, okay? Because there's a lot of people coming into the online arena that have struggled with in that area where you might be good at, where you think the communication thing is what you're good at. Maybe that's what you should focus on. Focus on being a leader for people that are coming into, coming from offline marketing to online marketing. That doesn't mean you have to be, extremely, be the best at internet marketing. That just means that you can talk to people and you've been there and you know what they're going through, so you can help them with that. So maybe that's what you're good at. Maybe you're good at motivation or inspiration. Maybe you could be a coach or a speaker. And that's one thing that I actually look to do is to do some coaching, some speaking, some motivation, things like that. And I love interacting with people. Just walking around the neighborhood last night, talking to people that I haven't talked to before. It was awesome. It's fun stuff. Just get to meet them and talk a little bit. And cool stuff. I like that. I like meeting new people. And then, if that's you, maybe you can focus on learning about coaching, learning about, investing in people to motivate them, to inspire them to be better. I do a little of that, but I kind of spread out a little bit, but I'm more focused on the internet marketing part of it. Video marketing, the one in the middle there. I do videos now too. I didn't necessarily start doing videos. Video isn't something that people just say, oh yeah, I want to do video. People don't do that. Most people do not want to get in front of the camera. Did I see myself doing webinars, 4 months ago, 5, 6 months ago? Absolutely not. Never even dawned on me. Never even thought about it. Never even, didn't think I was, I don't know, but somebody challenged me and challenged me again and challenged me again, and then I saw how easy it was, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So, no, it's great. It's the best. I think everybody should be doing webinars because it's easy to teach. And doing PowerPoints like this. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to do a PowerPoint. And then they went over on the right there, blogging. I like to write. I do the video blogging now. I'll do videos. Sometimes I just, like today, I just did a regular blog post. A friend of mine is in business opportunity called Send Out Cards, and I did a review for him, and he actually sent me a sample package, and I did a review on it, and it's great stuff. We could give us a gift package with some brownies in it and some really customized card. And if you're familiar with Send Out Cards, or if you're not, go to my blog and read that, because Cliff, I call him Clive Jeffrey. Read that blog and connect with him, because it's a great opportunity, and I'm helping him promote his business. And he's a guy that's in my community. I'm at My Lead System Pro, and awesome guy. Haven't met him yet. He's in San Augustine, Florida. Yeah, that's what it is. And I think I said it wrong, but anyways, but yeah, I love to blog, love doing videos, so I kind of join them together and do some YouTube videos and put them on my blog and make blog posts out of them, and it's fun stuff. And then on the bottom one's the social media. Some people love Facebook, and I can't say I love it, but it's definitely a good avenue to build your business around. I think everybody has to be on Facebook somewhat. That doesn't mean you have to build your own business, whole business around Facebook. If you do, if that's what you're doing right now, which is probably what most people do because it's the easiest, there's a lot of aspects of Facebook that you can utilize better. And if you can learn those things, and just like any of these, video marketing, blogging, motivation, inspiration, recruiting, prospecting, things like that, if you can learn new skills and be good at a specific area, you can be a leader in that area. You can brand yourself as a Facebook expert. You could brand yourself as a blogging expert, or as a motivational speaker expert, or a YouTube video expert. Either just video marketing. It doesn't have to be YouTube. There's a lot of platforms, but it could be any kind of videos. I did a video on my bike this summer, which was crazy, but I figured out how to do it while I was riding, and I did a little video on my bike, and I got some good feedback on it. Didn't get a lot, but I didn't do it again. But and then the last picture there, any social media. I see people branding themselves as social media experts, and I'm not an expert at anything. I'm one of those guys that I like to learn new things, and I'm kind of expanding my horizons, and I've really kind of grown my Instagram platform lately, and I like that. I'm learning new things about it, new apps and new ways to do it, and taking some feedback, and I've gone through some training again, and it's cool stuff, and I'm definitely not an Instagram expert, but I probably know more than, I bet you, 75% of the people on Instagram, if not more than that. So I'm learning new stuff all the time just from the people that I hang with. So maybe you're a social media expert or just a junkie. Turn that into something that you can brand yourself as, because I guarantee you, people will see that and they look at it. That's valuable. I mean, wow, this guy's a social media expert. So what does that mean? That might mean that you know one thing more than the next guy. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're the top expert. That just means that you know more than the average person. I can guarantee you right now there's people on Facebook that maybe haven't been in it as long as me, but they know way more than I do because they've jumped into it and buried themselves and immersed themselves in it and learned more about what's in Facebook. What capabilities does it have? I learn stuff all the time. And everybody thinks that, wow, it's just posting and stuff like that. Well, there's tricks to it all, and there's ways to do it. And if you can learn that aspect of whatever you're trying to learn, you can be a leader. You can brand yourself as a leader. So list your attributes. So this is part 2 of that. This is still the second one here, and we're kind of going slow here. But so when you're learning new skills, what are your attributes? Are you good at motivational? Are you inspirational? Are you like a trainer, like a fitness trainer? Most people in that arena are good speakers. They're good at motivation. If you're a health nut, which I am, you can coach. You can help people be healthier and utilize that as your brand. I'm like Joe Schmo is the trainer at the gym, and he decides to get involved in a network marketing company that sells health and wellness products. He can brand himself as this health and wellness guy and lead people to his products. And he doesn't necessarily have to pitch his products. He just has to brand himself because he can help. And that's kind of what the same idea of trying behind like a motivational, inspirational speaker. If that's your personality, learn more about that. Go into that and brand yourself as that kind of person. And always be in that persona, whether it's on Facebook, at home, while you're at your kid's ball game, everywhere you go, be that person, and that's what you're going to attract. So, okay, maybe you're a technical guy, maybe you're a nerd, and I'm definitely not, but I've learned a lot. Maybe you're good at maybe you can put WordPress blogs together, and I have, and I can figure that stuff out, and I've done it, and I can actually teach people to do that. It's because it's not hard. Other people look at that and say, oh, no way, I can never do that. Yeah, you can. If you jump into it and learn it, you can. Maybe you're good at paid advertising on Facebook or Google, or you're good at reading analytics. Maybe that's the job you used to have, and now you want to make that into something. You can brand yourself as that, a leader in that arena, and get people to come to you, and that way you promote yourself as a brand and as maybe even a business opportunity. There's a lot of ways you can utilize that in your brand, whatever skills you have. Like I said, the technical skills, but that could be anything. Those two examples there, web design and paid advertising, that's just two. There's a lot of stuff, of technical stuff on the internet that I have no idea. So maybe, like I said, Facebook genius. Maybe you've got all these insights on Facebook. Well, start going out there, getting in their groups and offering up your services. Hey, I could help you with that. Or when someone asks a question, jump in the thread and say, hey, this is what I did. I did this, this, and this, and it worked. And they say, oh, wow, maybe can I hook up with you? And sure, give them a call, send them your number, chat with them, whatever. Give them some good info. They'll come back. I guarantee it. They'll come looking for you because you have the answer. Okay, and that's just Facebook. Maybe it's social media in general. All social media. There's a lot of social media experts out there. Does it mean that they're the expert in each different platform? Probably not. Okay, they have a lot of information, but they're probably not the expert in all of them. But you know what? They probably have a lot more information than me or you or the next guy. So to me, they're an expert. Okay, to you, maybe they're not an expert. To a guy that's been in social media since the dawn of the internet, they're probably not even close to an expert. There you go. So it could be at any level. As long as you know more than somebody else, they probably look at you as an expert. So, and then blogging. I'm definitely not a blogging expert, but it's fun, and I'm learning new things every day. I'm making change. I'm actually going to redesign my blog now. I'm going to change my header and probably go to a different theme and just do some major changes to it because I'm tired of the one I got, basically. But I want to change it. I want to get more professional and change my header image and all that stuff. And I got some friends that are going to be working on it for me. So blogging, maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you're a writer, okay? And all you need to do is figure out, get somebody to teach you how to set up a blog. I mean, I could do that. I could teach you how to get your blog up and running, and you're the writer. And that's what you do. Video marketing. Nobody likes doing video right away. I know I didn't. Nobody likes being in front of the camera because they look like an idiot. And I guarantee you that's probably the way most people feel. And but it's cool. You can really show your personality. You can really brand yourself in video marketing. I think I'm actually just kind of starting to come under my own with my videos. I'm kind of getting my personality out there a little more. I'm not as stiff. I know that. I've watched some of the other ones and go, holy cow. If you go back to my YouTube channel and watch some of those goofy ones, you're going to see some stuff that's pretty sad. And unfortunately, that's kind of the way it works. So they get better. I mean, my videos get better. Yours will get better. Everyone's get better. So. All right. And then last one, this isn't the last one, but do your research. Whatever you're going to focus on it. Okay? Do the research on whatever you're going to focus on. Motivation, is it Facebook, is it social media, is it video marketing, is it blogging? Do the research on whatever you want to focus on. Okay? Start researching it. How do I need to do this? Okay? Who is doing what you want to do? Who's the bloggers out there? I mean, I'm a blogger, so if you want to blog, let me know. We'll get something going for you. I'm not the top blogger in the land. I don't even know who is, but I probably know way more than the average guy. There's people that I hang with that are just starting blogging, so and they ask me questions all the time. So I have no problem with that. Get a mentor. Always look. Don't think you have to do it yourself, because if you do, you're going to waste a lot of time. I mean, when I started my first blog, I kind of started it and just watched tutorials and spent a lot of time. I bet you it took me a month to get the thing up and running, which is crazy, but that's what I did. I did it myself, and it was really stupid. So, and learn one aspect at a time. I'm sorry, I skipped 2 slides there. And learn one aspect at a time. Focus on one thing. If you want to be a Facebook expert, you want to brand yourself as a Facebook expert, jump into Facebook and learn everything you can about it, but just do one aspect at a time. Okay? If it's the free stuff, really dive into the advantages of free training for Facebook, because you can offer people free things all the time, free help. They're going to come back to you. They're going to come back to you. They're going to come back to you. They're going to keep on coming back to you for help. Okay, so that's how you brand yourself right there, because they're always going to, hey, and someone's going to say, hey, do you want help with that? I know somebody that can help you with that, and they'll send them to you. Okay, and I've had that, so that's great. It's good stuff. I'm not a genius, but I got people coming back to me for stuff. So consistently learn new skills. If you want to learn social media, if you want to be a social media expert, dive in. You got to learn. There's a lot to learn. I'll tell you. There's so many twists and turns to social media, that ways to do things on each different platform, that's crazy. But you can learn stuff every day, and that's the big thing. You should probably try to learn something every single day, and then repeat. Okay, so when you learn something, next day do it again, next day do it again, next day do it again, and that way you can focus on staying ahead of the game instead of getting stale. Because when you keep on looking for people that don't know this one skill all the time, you're going to always run out of people then. You always got to be adding to it. So if you can show value to one person, and the next day you come to them and say, hey, I learned this thing the other day, and you show them some more value, they're going to be like, wow, you really know what you're talking about. And maybe you just learned it yesterday, but that's fine. That's more than they know. So, and then the last part, manage your brand. And this one is probably, it's important, but I'm almost out of time here. Manage your brand. Proactively manage all the aspects of your brand simultaneously. So when I say manage all the aspects of your brand, what I mean is you might be on different platforms, but that doesn't mean you have to be a master of all those platforms, because I'm not, I know that. But do it before you come across problems. So proactively means that when you go through a training to set up your YouTube channel, do it right the first time and get it to match with your other brands, okay? Not with your other brands, because you only have one brand, but to match your other platforms, whether it's your blog and everything's connected and stuff like that. Same in all media. So like I said, make a match, okay? Make them all have the same, header images. You see my face on my blog, on my fan page. My personal page isn't this picture, because that's the picture I think I have of my wife and I and my granddaughter. And but I think I've had that wedding picture up there for a while. Probably can change that, but it's basically the same stuff. Okay, be the same everywhere. Okay. Don't, I see this all the time, is people, they have a personal picture on their personal page, and then their brand page, or their fan page, I should say, which should be their brand page. Their fan page has, this big, huge monster picture of this business opportunity that they're promoting, and that's what their brand is. And I think that's a mistake. If you're doing that right now, you might want to think about changing that and changing your fan page to be you branded, not your business opportunity. Okay, so same in all media, same message in all media, which means that be the same. So if you're a 20-year-old and you write this blog about, like I saw this online, somebody who did this, they write a blog about fashion. If you're, let's say, a 25-year-old young lady, you're writing a fashion blog, and it's about really nice dresses, and you're selling affiliate products, these dresses, you're from a dress store, and you're selling them, you're promoting them, okay? And you have your blog linked to your Twitter account or your Instagram account. And on your Instagram page, you're posting pictures of some really vulgar stuff, crazy stuff that's really not the same message as your blog, because you're selling these high-end dresses in one place, and your Instagram account is talking about this concert you were at, and everyone got hammered and blah blah blah. And on your Twitter account, all these tweets are going out saying, "Oh, I drank too much, and I had whatever." You know what I mean? That's not kosher. That's not good for your brand. Okay, you don't want to be caught with the lampshade on the head thing, and that's kind of what that is. Okay, all your media should be linked, and I kind of said that to ensure everyone can find you everywhere. And here's the thing: if you're not linking everything, what it does is it means that you might be a little scared of what people might find there, and so you leave one of these out, and because you want to be able to put anything you want on there. Well, if it's a separate account and it's not really linked to this account, then fine, that's fine. But if you're using it to promote your business or yourself as a brand, then you want to link all that stuff. Your YouTube channel should be linked to your Facebook page, should be linked to your blog, your Instagram, your Pinterest account, your Twitter account, your Tumblr account, all that stuff. I get all that stuff linked together. So every time I throw something out there, it goes to all of them. So, but keep that in mind. And this is the last, I think it's the last slide. Yeah, this is the bonus one. And this is something that I was on, a webinar that I was on. If you don't know who Ray Higdon is, I mentioned him earlier. He's kind of a guru in the area, in the industry. And he's got a crazy story. He was in real estate, and just a short little synopsis of his story. And he went through foreclosure and got involved in network marketing in 2009. Well, 2013 was his first $1 million year. So 4 years. He went 9, 10, 11, 12, and I think 13 was his, or 5 years, I should say. 13 was his first $1 million year. Imagine that, huh? Imagine that. So his big saying was ILT, and I did a blog post about it recently. Invest in yourself, learn new skills. So invest in your learning. Invest, whether it's seminars or books or speakers or events or just trainings or courses, you name it. Invest time and money, or both, or either, or whatever. But learn as much as you can, and then teach what you've learned. And basically, that's how he's got to where he's been. So he's invested in himself, time and money, or either or. He's learned a lot through that, and he's taught everything he's learned. And that's where, basically, why he's made $1 million in 2013. So that's pretty much it. That's me again. I think this picture here is before we got married, so I think it was last fall at it was the Chanhassen Dinner Theater here in Minneapolis, and basically, that's my brand. I'm a normal guy. I'm family oriented. I have a background just like anybody else. I went through some bad stuff just like everybody else. I'm pretty open about it. I'm transparent about it. Everybody can pretty much see into my life, which I don't have a problem with. But that's part of being, I honestly believe if you're really private and if you're really leery about putting stuff out there, you're probably not going to, which means I highly doubt you're going to be very successful online, okay, because of your privacy. Because what that does, I think, it makes you spam people. It makes you get desperate for people to sign up with you. And when you live a lifestyle, when you show the lifestyle, it takes the desperation out of it. Okay, so, and believe me, I know I'm not, I'm definitely not where I want to be in my business, but it's a process. I'm moving forward, and I'm getting there. So, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm involved in My System Pro, and it's a great system. And I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to come out of this here, and get out of the screen share. And there we are. I'm back. All right. So I hope that went good. Like I said, I've been involved in My System Pro for a while now, and it's a branding tool. It's a system that I honestly believe that most people that are involved in internet marketing and network marketing, utilizing the internet, need help with how they brand themselves. And I honestly believe that the offline marketers don't necessarily teach that because they're promoting a business. They're promoting this business. Although they are, if you watch them closely, some of these offline marketers, the guys that are way up in these companies, and they're awesome people, I've met some of them, they promote the lifestyle of that business. So they're kind of branding themselves, although they do promote the business pretty heavily, but they're still branding themselves because of the lifestyle. So they still are doing that, even though they're successful offline. So it's not a bad thing. It's not something that I'm going to say, don't be like that. The only problem with that is that, and I'm honestly, and I'm never going to badmouth anybody because I just don't do that. But people nowadays that are solely doing offline marketing, they have a lot of ways of making money. Okay, some of these big-time speakers, they are very good speakers, so they get called into other areas to talk for even other companies. I'm talking the really high-up guys. I'm talking guys that are, they're making millions. And I'm gonna use a guy as an example. Ray Higdon. I know we're over here. Holy cow! Ray Higdon he's promoted a bunch of companies, but if you follow him now, he doesn't promote his company at all. He speaks at events all over the place, and he gets paid a lot of money to speak at events because of his motivational speeches, because of his inspiration, because of his story, and because of what he offers everybody. So he makes a lot of money away from his network marketing company. And he's probably making a lot of money from his network marketing opportunities, and I don't even know what it is. But he makes a ton of money doing other things, okay? So outside of that. And that's kind of the branding thing. That's what he does. His name is branded, Ray Higdon. I think most people in the industry know his name, know him. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some good information out of this. I know I kept you long. I didn't think I was going to go that long, but I threw a lot of extra stuff in there, and I hope you really got some value out of that. So I'm going to let you go. If you got something great here, let me know. Get back to me. Send me a message on Facebook. I'd love to hear if I inspired you, if I taught you something, and just keep on going. Use this stuff in your business. If I can help you, or let's say if you're already doing a lot of this stuff, and I can show someone else, if you have people on your team that are looking for help, direct them towards me, and I'll do whatever I can to help them. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I thank you for hanging out, for spending an hour and 10 minutes with me here. I didn't think I'd go that long, but I appreciate it. So it'll be next week. I haven't decided yet, Tuesday and Thursday, but I got some good stuff coming up. I've been kind of doodling some ideas down for next week, and we're going to dive into that again. So connect with me. Let me know how you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good evening. See you later.